now. So like 100 days of documentation, right? Which means like documenting his journey. And Amarnath is really one of those people who does it right. He does it as you should, because he's had days where he's been stuck on debugging. He's been days on where things have gone really well, and he documents everything, because that's the reality,
Mm-hmm.
guys, and that's actually what happens. So whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and also this, I really want to add on to this, right? By just writing some content, as whether it be like, I don't know, how to write a component in React, or whether it be like how to style something with Flexbox, by writing that out and by teaching someone else it, you're going to actually reinforce your
Mm-hmm.
knowledge of it massively, right? And that's going to be
Exactly.
a huge benefit.
Exactly. It's like that. When you actually teach someone, you actually learn much more than when you try to learn by yourself. So when you try to teach someone, a certain thing, let's say that, you want to post an Instagram post on, React basics, right?
Yeah.
You're going to learn the really big fundamentals, the very important fundamentals, because you got to teach that, right? You have to know that before you teach.
Yeah.
And so that actually forces you to learn even better, right? So that's why we say, like, record your entire journey, post things online. I know Amanat is doing a great job, right? Amanat, for example, he is, from with all that he's doing, he's also now getting coaching clients, literally, and is actually like, making money at that point. So yeah, crazy stuff. Seriously, do it, and trust me, I don't think you will not regret that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, lovely comment by Amanat here. He said, Sunny's also inspired me. Thanks a lot, bro. Because of you, I have now.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
thank you so much, Amanat. And I really love your journey, and keep doing what you're doing, bro. Nice. We also want to add one more thing here, guys. It's not just about like sharing the journey, right? By doing that, without realizing, you're actually going to be building like your own personal brand. Okay. So there's one thing working in a company, there's one thing freelancing and doing this sort of stuff. But if you just get involved and you start sharing your journey, I promise you guys, without even trying, you're going to actually slowly build a bit of momentum and traction as to a following. You're going to get a natural following of people who are
Mm-hmm.
interested in coding and interested, and you're going to get like a more like-minded people sort of naturally start to surround you. Why this becomes really useful is because when you start growing your social media presence, let's say you start offering coaching sessions and you want to start teaching people one-to-one, and you want to make a little bit of extra pocket money. You just need to add one story on Instagram, and immediately you've got 1,000 people that are going to see that, right? And they're all coding people, they're all like people in the developer community. And I guarantee if you just get one person who replies to you, that's potentially one person
Yep.
you can start teaching and you can start making a
Yep.
side income from. So it's not only
Yeah.
going to benefit you in terms of learning, it's actually another source of income. So it's actually going to be a really powerful thing for you.
Exactly, exactly. Just there's so much opportunity, guys. Seriously, there's a ton of opportunity out there on social media, online. Use it for your own good. Go out there, put yourself out there, right? Because the only way that people can see you is if you put yourself out there,
Yeah.
right? And so if you do it, you are more likely to get something back. Something like, there's a saying, put good energy out, and good energy will come back.
Exactly. I live
You
by
know.
that right now. And like Nas is living, he's living, breathing proof of this, guys. Like if you go to one of his coaching calls, you come out of it feeling like you're about to walk on water. Like it's crazy. Like it's like a rave in those coaching calls. It's so
We
cool.
are dancing, guys. We are dancing those coaching calls. By the way, link in the description, profile JavaScript, link in bio. Check it out. But literally, we are dancing those coaching calls. Well, and we have a dance party at the end of the coaching call. Obviously, we get down to business, which is the very important part.
Yeah.
But at the end of all this, we have some fun. We put energy. What we do right now is this crazy stuff. You know what we do right now
Go.
is we have this thing right now where basically I put on a song,
Yeah.
and then we have to switch it up, but one person will lead everybody else the move they have to do. So let's say, like I'm doing this move, everybody else will have to do this move during the dance. So
Oh,
they're caught,
nice.
and then I put other people on the spotlight. So basically we do a rotation. Okay, here, you do it now, you do it now, and so
Yeah.
everybody basically just gets to like lead the whole lead
Oh,
the life in terms of
nice.
dancing.
That's cool, dude. I don't know how Nas does it. I finished my coaching course and I'm like exhausted. And everyone's like, where's our dance? Why aren't we dancing
Oh,
like Nas?
seriously?
Yeah, and I'm like, God damn it. Okay, let's start. Somebody blow the track. Let's get it going. So
Just the
funny.
DJ up in here.
Yeah.
Oh
Nice.
my god. That's too
So,
good, man. That's too good, man.
yeah. So, guys, if you found that useful, make sure you let us know in the comment section and smash the thumbs up button. We would love to just take some time out now to actually do a Q&A and let you guys just ask whatever questions you want to fire at us. And guys, feel free to ask whatever you want, and we can just go ahead and pick them off right now. How's that sound,
Yeah.
Naz?
Yeah. Let's go ahead, get some questions, and then we'll give you the answer. You give us the questions, and we'll hopefully give you the answers.
Exactly. Let's do it.
By the way, Sonny, there's a request here.
Yeah.
I think Sonny should dance by Maraban. So Sonny,
So that
so
is.
Sonny, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Look at that.
How
I'll put
about
it out
how
there.
about you do some dancing, huh?
Guys, I tell you what, if this
Come
video.
on.
Wait, how many likes are we at? Like, if this video hits a certain number of likes, then I'll do a dance.
No, no,
That,
no, no, no. Don't make it out of this. No, no, no. That's not how it's gonna be.
that's my girlfriend stirring trouble right there. Oh, man.
Come on, Sonny. Come on, Sonny. Show us what you got. Come on.
Well, I did.
Let's do something. Let's do
Uh,
something. Let's go up. Oh, oh, oh. Roll it. Roll it.
That's it. See,
Roll it.
guys, I just can't compete. Like, Nas is a dancer, my girlfriend's a dancer. I'm a coder. I can do. I'll swivel around in my chair. That's me. Oh, that's so funny.
Sonny, you come to LA, I teach you how to dance. No problem.
I'll tell you what. I'll take you up on that, Nas. We'll do that. We'll do that for sure.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay,
I can
okay.
actually. I can do salsa to a degree.
Oh, you can do salsa?
I can do
Okay.
salsa
How
to a
about
degree.
show us, guys? Drop in the comments if you want to see
Oh,
Sonny
no,
salsa
no.
right now.
Oh no! It looks like it's lagging.
I'll use that excuse.
Oh man, that is so funny.
Oh man, that was hilarious. No, but
Right.
seriously, let's do some salsa.
Yeah, let's do it, bro. Let's do it. Nice.
You wanna do it? You wanna do some salsa?
When I come to LA, we'll do some salsa.
Oh, I meant like right now. All right,
Right.
fine, fine. All right, fine. None of the time. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and answer some questions. If you guys want, if your question is, let's get signed to dance. That's a good question as well. But but yeah, let's see what questions will come up.
Right.
Because like, you know what? One thing I know is like, somebody asked, Nakul asked, do you want to put it out? It's like, I want to apply for React.js internship. What strong parts should I have? Like, what strong suit should I have? You see the question?
Really good question. Yeah. So, React.js internship, what strong parts should I have? So, it's a really good question. Thanks for asking, Nicole. I would recommend that you pretty much understand. So, in React, you have two ways of writing components, right? You have class-based, class-based, and you have functional. The first thing is I would recommend that you learn very, very thoroughly how to use both, right? Because that becomes an immediate valuable skill to have. You can go into a company and you can say, right, even if the code base is class based, and the difference here, guys, is one is just the older way of writing things and one is the newer way of writing things. But the newer way is really nice, but most code bases have the older way. So a lot of companies actually pay you to come in and just go ahead and change everything to the new stuff without breaking things in between, right? So if you can do
Right.
that, then that's definitely a valuable skill. So I would recommend learning about class based and functional, and then I would go ahead and pick up all of the fundamentals like React hooks. I would look at the React context API. So
Mm-hmm.
for many of you guys who haven't used React before, this could sound like buzzwords. But if you are looking at React, then just get a pen and paper and note these down. So it's React context API, React hooks. And once you know about React hooks, I would look at something called Redux. And once you know
Yep.
Redux, you're at a point where you're pretty much ready to jump into your first position. So once you overcome that pattern, and if you guys do want to look at an example of Redux, yesterday's live build of Amazon, we actually cover that. So go and check
Yeah.
that out if you are interested. Yeah.
And I would also say React JSX, right?
Oh
JSX,
yeah,
right? That's the one, right?
yeah.
React
So
JSX, which is a way to write HTML using basically React, using JavaScript, basically
yeah,
using React. That's another big point I think. I
definitely.
think to learn.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely that's actually quite an essential thing. You need to understand how to use JSX. Yeah.
yeah. And what is the CSS? I forgot because I used to use CSS where I built CSS with JavaScript as well. What is that one called? I forgot.
Oh, so there's a few. There's CSS, there's SAS that you may
No,
have
no,
used.
no, no. There's one was like React build. I forgot about that. Ugh. Uh, Style sheet. Anyways, maybe I could bring it up some later time.
Yeah. Okay. Dope. If you guys have any questions around that, drop them in the comments because that's actually a really good question. Somebody actually
Yeah.
said something. I tried to pin it. Okay, yeah, this one here. Vikram Seth said, "Help." So there are times when coding we feel like giving up in between. What should we do at that time? So Naz, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, so actually a lot of students will actually get this a lot from students in terms of, hey, I don't kind of, I feel like I just can't do it. Um like my answer to this is honestly like, and I'm trying to think kind of what to say in terms of it, like, to actually give you some actionable things to do. Um one thing I would say is, this is not an actionable one, but like, one is, don't put so much pressure on yourself. Like, why are you putting so much pressure on yourself that, because the reason why you don't feel like, you feel like giving up is because you put so much pressure and, on building something, or you put so much pressure that you need to understand something so quickly that now you feel like, well, I can't really get it that fast. And so now should I even learn it at that point, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't put so much pressure and you make it so much more about, hey, this is a fun thing to do. Let me see how I can learn it. And let me put myself to the challenge to actually try and get it. Okay. If you think of it more so, it's just a fun thing that I'm going to learn instead of putting so much pressure that I have to know this, I have to get this to get a job and everything, then it becomes a lot harder.
Yeah.
But if you are stuck in that position where, I feel like giving up, one, release yourself of that pressure. Two, find like I said, potentially find a. Actually, here's one thing that I would say is, find small wins,
Yeah.
because wins give you confidence. So, for example, let's say, actually, I would recommend in this situation, do like a small YouTube tutorial, for example, okay, and code along with that person. Maybe join a course like part of a JavaScript, link in the description.
Hey.
Join the course, for example, right? And start getting small wins. Okay, maybe it's you built a small program. Maybe you built a small, card, for example. Maybe you built a small like a weather application, right? Anything that gives you like a win, like sparks interest. It's like, hey, I got this. Let me see what else I can get. I got this. Let me see what else I can get. And by giving yourself momentum, right? Having this momentum, you can basically go a lot further, and now use the momentum, basically just keep going and keep going and keep going. So that is kind of like, I would say my answer to that.
Yeah,
What about you, Sonny?
really, really nice. Like how you put that. I would say like perseverance, guys, for me is going to be the number one key thing because like in coding, like you are. I'm just like I'm gonna put it out there. You are going to hit some really tough times where you will be at your computer for hours. Like you will be stuck at your computer for hours, and it doesn't matter if it's like a very simple error or like a really sort of complicated error. Like I've been stuck on my computer sometimes for the most basic things, guys. I've probably spent like 8 hours once, like figuring out like how to loop through an array properly, right? Like as in like,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh my god, like, and now you'd see me like, and this is what I want to really sort of like kind of draw a straight line over is that you're gonna see me now in tutorials and like Nas coding, and you're gonna be like, wow, they just seem to like know everything. They know how to write all their code, but like guys, that's after going through like God knows how many hours of like sitting there banging our heads against the keyboard, like oh my god, I want to quit, I want to give up, I'm not built out for this. Like it's a normal feeling, and the number one thing I would say is just keep on moving forward, like keep on going, like don't just
Yeah.
do not quit because I guarantee, and this is why I love coding so much, that rush that you get when you overcome that problem finally at the end, that rush is unlike anything else. Like I to be honest, I'm yet to find something which matches it. Like when I'm sat there for
Yeah.
debugging for like 8 hours and I finally get my
Yeah.
code working, and you deploy it and you do all your stuff, and then you can go about your
Yeah.
day. It just sets you off in such a good mood, and it's like the
I
best thing
know.
ever. Yeah,
It's like you realize, oh man, I missed a semicolon. That took you about 8 hours to figure out. But
yeah,
like, at one point you're like really mad, but you're also like, hell yeah, you
yeah.
know?
Exactly. Like in the beginning, you're kind of like in this weird place of like I'm really angry and disappointed by myself, but I'm also like the most happiest I've ever been. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot, and I think there's a very big joy I get personally, like from building like a project, like right now, for example, guys, like really cool project that we're building right now with students. Actually, check this out. Hold on, maybe I can send you a link. Hold on. Maybe you can actually share this.
yep.
Let me see. we're building a COVID tracker, guys. We are building a COVID tracker. It's actually me and Sunny are going to be doing. By the way, this is like a really cool announcement. Me and Sunny are going to be doing a COVID tracker, building a COVID tracker with React next Monday. Next Monday. So drop in the comment below if you would be excited to build something like this. This is something that's completely new, right? It's gonna look amazing. It might actually look something like this. So actually, let me see. Let me give you a link that you can like probably show to them as well.
Yeah.
Da 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 da
So,
da
guys,
da
let
da.
us know in the comments while Naz is finding that if you're excited to build a COVID tracker. It looks
Yeah.
amazing. This app looks really nice, and we're going to show you how to build it. And this is a complete beginner tutorial, guys. So it doesn't matter if you don't know how
Yeah.
to code. You can go along with us, and you can build this as well, and you can add it to your portfolio. So let
Okay.
me go ahead
I
and
sent you a link.
right. Let me open this up for you guys. So we've got here we go.
So this is something that currently our students are building, right, in Profit JavaScript. So again, if you want to build something like this and know the deep down on how to build this in the live coaching calls, so for example with me and Sunny, right, we get to ask questions. Link is in the bio. Make sure you Profit JavaScript. You will not regret it.
Yeah. So here we have it, guys. We have the COVID-19 tracker. So you can see like we can select countries from the drop down. So if I go ahead and click this,
Well, you refresh it. You refresh it. Refresh it. Hold on.
okay.
Refresh it. For some reason, on yours it's not showing the actual
Oh,
cases.
there we go. There we go. So is it?
Hold on. Is it? It's still not.
No, I mean, it might just be a delay. I think my could be the internet connection. Is it working on your machine, Naz?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe let's have a look. But what you basically
Let's
can
see.
do, guys, is you can select from this drop down. You'll be able to select like the United States or the UK, and it will show you. Not only it will show you like a live breakdown of country by country with the number of COVID
Yeah.
cases, but it would also zoom into the map dynamically. So imagine like it would literally zoom into the map at different points, highlight the UK with this really nice circle illustration of depending on how many people have been infected with coronavirus, and it will show you
Hmm.
like stats of that thing, and then you can basically from this drop down click like international, and this map reacts dynamically to that. So it's going to be a really really nice build, and again you guys will be able to add this to your portfolio. So let us know in the comments if you find that exciting and if you are ready to do that,
Yeah.
and we will build that for you guys on Monday.
Can you open this up in Safari? Try this up in Safari actually.
Yeah, let's give that a go.
Yeah, let's try it. I'm very curious why it's not showing up the cases on your side. This will be interesting.
Let's have a look. No. Let's go ahead and check if there's any errors coming back.
See, guys, this is the magic of coding, guys.
There you go. jQuery is not
Is
defined.
not defined. Interesting.
Hmm.
Hmm. Oh, maybe the shot. Oh, maybe because it's very location based. Because I'm getting there's a CDN that's getting jQuery.
Yeah, it could be.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
Oh, nice. Perfect JavaScript. Yeah, guys, if you haven't already, check this out. Make sure that you guys go ahead and check the link in the description. If you've enjoyed the
Yeah.
video so far and you found that some of the advice that we gave you is pretty useful, then you can go ahead and check out. This is pretty much where me and Nas live. We live inside of this community. And guys, we
In
offer
this course.
yeah, we live here like very much inside of this course. Like we offer a bunch of so not only do you get personalized video feedback from all of the homework submissions that Nas sets every week in your coaching calls.
Mm.
So you get live feedback, you get success coaches, you get weekly JavaScript and React training calls. So that's all of the JavaScript fundamentals and pretty much from A to Z in JavaScript with Nas. And with me, you'll be building fun little React apps that we can pretty much go in and guys, like when you build these apps, you pretty much have like you can message me on Slack, you can come and show me your code. I love to see what you guys build. And then, yeah, you can message us through Slack. And also, guys, it's all cool knowing how to learn how to code in JavaScript, right? But the main thing we want to do is show you how to make a killing with that, so with those skills.
Yeah.
We're going to show you how to go from being able, because like this is the problem I find in most of these tutorials. They teach you how to do stuff, but they don't actually teach you how to actually go ahead and make some money with it, right? So we have plenty of different methods, and our students are actually making a fair amount of money. A lot of the students right now, which is really nice. Like I love seeing when students share their success stories with us. So yeah, if you do want to go ahead and like, you can just come check this page out. It's in the link in the description, and you guys can go and check that out for yourself. Awesome.
Yeah, check it out if you're interested. If you're, by the way, we have a 30-day money back guarantee. So if you don't like it, return it. But I think you're gonna like it. In either case, trust me. Just yeah, you're gonna like it.
Yeah,
Just trust me. Just trust us.
exactly. Nice. Let's have a look at some of these comments. So we've got I spent a week to myself. Okay, so Devin Gray actually joined the other day, so he's new to the course, I believe. So he said, I
Oh, is
spent a
he?
week trying to deploy my website to a server, wondering why I couldn't see it at my URL, only to find out my website was pointing to the wrong URL. Yeah, and then he said he added another one. He goes, I was laughing at
Uh-huh.
4 a.m. from happiness when I finally solved it. That's so wicked, awesome,
No
dude.
way.
Nice.
Oh man, the happiness you probably got is so good.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's really gonna take you. Like it makes you so happy, guys. Let's have a look. Oh, Naz, this one might be good for you. Like, so what are the best ways of finding clients for your product? So, I think we'll answer this in the way of finding clients for like freelance projects.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that in terms of finding clients for your freelance projects, and I've done freelancing for a year, the number one thing that I would say is honestly probably when you're first starting out, it is through people that you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd be surprised like how big your network is. Like what I would say, and this is pretty much how I started, is I literally started asking people like that I know, hey, do you know anybody who needs some work done? Hey, do you need anybody who needs some freelance client work? Okay. And the reason why you ask that question, you basically you ask around for the people you know, is because it's the trust factor.
Yeah.
You're a lot more likely to get a job if someone trusts you versus if you're like, hey, I don't know who this guy is, I'm not gonna pay him, right?
Exactly.
So the biggest thing in freelancing, guys, is honestly trust. Like that is basically if there's someone who if there's someone who I know, okay, who maybe is a bit more expensive, okay, versus someone who I don't know but is actually cheaper, I'm gonna go with someone who I know,
Yeah.
right? So trust is a big fight. So the first ways to find is through people you know. That's part one. Part two is you can go on websites like freelancer.com and upwork.com, and you can find them there. But most important thing is build that connection, build that network, go to meetups, see other people. That is how you're going to get your freelance clients. So yeah, that is gonna be my answer for that. Honestly.
Yeah, and that's so powerful. And I said because like guys, like I thought initially there would be websites that I'd have to go to, but the truth is when I started freelancing, it was all through word of mouth. Like everything was through word of mouth, and I was like, whoa! Like it was just somebody would randomly give me a call and say like, oh hey, you know so and so, and I know that you can code and
Yeah.
you can do stuff, and I'd be like, oh yeah, sure, like I can take this on. Let's have a look, and you just start a conversation, and before you know it, like things are happening, and you start working on these projects. So like Noah said, go to these meetups, go to these conferences, and sort of be a part of these groups and communities, and you will naturally start to see those conversations start to come about.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, awesome. Let's have a look at some more questions. Right, but
Somebody said, do I have to learn JavaScript in depth like recursion a lot, or like to get a job in React?
uh,
Do you see that?
yeah, here. So this one right here. So Ajinkya said, "Do I have to learn JavaScript in depth, like recursion?" Okay, so good question. So honestly, recursion, not necessarily. Is it a valuable skill to have? Yes, it is a valuable skill to have. I mean, like it's cool to know. How often do I actually use recursion? I mean, Nas, how often do you use recursion? Like with
Literally, I
yeah.
use recursion. You know how many times a day? 0 times a day.
Yeah. It's one of those it's cool to know how to do it, but actually using it,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really use recursion too much. I mean, the one time when I do find that I actually need to use recursion, it'll be
Yeah.
super rare, and then I would be like, oh, that's pretty cool. I used recursion that day. Like it's one of those things. It's definitely not an essential. So I would actually focus on the fundamentals and then go ahead and jump into React, and you can sort of have some fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say recursion, things like that is actually going to be very important when you guys get into interviewing with big companies like Google and like Facebook. When you get into that zone, you will have to know like algorithms,
Yeah.
recursion, right? Basically, breadth first search, depth first search, binary search trees, all that stuff that, I hate, I don't like, and that I don't use. You're gonna still have to know that,
Yeah.
unfortunately, for the interviews. So yeah, if your goal is to work at big companies, you are gonna have to learn it. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
you will.
Yeah,
you know.
especially for companies like Google, Facebook, and things like that. But to be honest, like I would really recommend because like even Nas said he started with smaller startup companies, and I did the same thing. I
Yeah.
started with smaller startup companies, and then I ended up going the freelancing route, and then I joined the team. So it really, you really need to kind of decide as to like what's your sort of goal. Like if your goal is to get into companies like Google, then I would always kind of recommend just like we said, guys, just start, get the fundamentals down, just start getting those things ahead, and then when you need to know those things, start to address them then, right? Like if you're going to apply to Google, know that yes, you're probably going to need to know about like a bunch of different algorithms and efficient ways of doing things. But before that, a startup company that's getting off the ground that has a bit of funding isn't really going to be asking you about algorithms. They just want to know, can you help them build their product or not, right? So, and
They're gonna
if
be
you,
begging you. They're gonna be begging you, please help us.
yeah, they'll be begging you, and at that point, they'll be like, right, like if you can start tomorrow, like start tomorrow. If you've got the skills to do it, like so, there's literally like that's the sort of conversations that you need to be focused about before those ones.
Yeah.
Um, Ashkan just dropped a really nice comment. He goes, "I've joined the course a few days ago, and I strongly recommend it to people who lost in tons of tutorials. Amazing stuff, dude. You'll thank me later. This is all you need. Better than boot camps. Amazing. If you guys want to go and check the course out, link is in the description, by the way. Nice.
Love it.
Um,
Love it. Love it.
I love seeing stuff like
Guys, wait, who by the way, drop in the comments below if who has actually just got the course today. I'm just curious. If
yeah,
you actually in the course if you got the course today, drop in the comments below. I'm very curious.
yeah. Love to see that. Definitely would love to see
Yeah.
that. Okay, this is an interesting one. Nice. So Stoicho says, "How you guys started programming?" So like,
Okay.
how did you?
Want
Okay.
to go first?
Yeah, I'll give it a go. So I started coding when I was 17, I believe, or 16 or 17. I always found that the IT class, so like Excel spreadsheets and things like that in school, was just never challenging enough. I kind of was naturally like enjoyed it so much, but I wanted to like start to build things on my own accord. And the first programming language that one of my teachers showed me was Pascal. Now I really
Oh.
like sort of like, yeah, I coded in Pascal, dude. Like Pascal was my first language, and then I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like it's a bit challenging. I like what you can do with this.
Uh-huh.
And then I literally bought a book off. I had an iPad at the time, like the first ever iPad, and I bought
Mhm.
a Java book, and I pretty much sat there, went through that Java book, and I pretty much just, I literally learned a fundamental about how to do something in Java, and I wrote a little loop, and I basically made it loop 10 times. I made it loop 100 times, and then I tried an if statement, and I was like, if this loop is on the 50th iteration, don't show it. Like I was just making small
How
things.
many loops did you write, Sonny? How many
Dude,
loops did you write?
I went loop crazy. I wrote so many loops and I just did so many weird things, but like it helped me learn Java. And then I just took it and I
Uh-huh.
ran with it. Like I reached out to one of my cousins who had a car shop, right? They had a car manufacturing shop, and I was like, oh, like you're currently using like you just everything's paper based. So I went ahead and I built them a Java like a Java interface like that, like a nice like little UI, and that had a SQL backend, and I basically so I took all the information. So I actually ended up gathering like user stories from them without
Oh,
realizing
really?
at the time. And I didn't
Wow.
know what a user story was. I didn't know what any of that stuff was. I just kind of started asking what their requirements were, and I just built them a system. And the guys, and that was the first time I realized, like, I kind of the way I looked at it was, I was like, I've seen this done before. Like, I've seen websites that do the similar thing, so I know it's possible. So how do I get there? And I just kept going with that. And every time I wanted to do something, I was like, I know you can push data into a database. I've seen it happen
Mhm.
before, but how do I get there? And I just kept doing that. And before you know it,
Damn.
I had a full build. And yes, that took a lot of frustration and several million hours at at the computer. But that got my journey started. And then, yeah, like I just pretty much from that point on, I did go to university,
Wow.
but I would say you don't need to. Like, it's all about practical knowledge and sort of learning that way. How about you, Nas?
First thing, actually, before I continue with mine, actually, guys, drop some fire in the comments because that was one heck of a story. Drop some fire in the comments for Sonny because that was one heck of a story. And
Thank you.
especially my I would drop some fire for Sonny for him building making user stories because that shit's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
didn't even know what
hey,
user story was, bro.
applaud for that, man. But yeah, like for me, basically, I would say it's actually a very interesting story as well. Like, I kind of started in high school, so I think when I was like 16 years old,
Yeah.
and I started in high school, right? And we had in high school we had one web design course. So this is at the time when I was still figuring out who was gonna be, like who what I wanted to learn.
Yeah.
And we had only one web design course. And this is a course that we used for Dreamer. So we used Dreamweaver in this course,
Yeah.
and we built some very basic HTML sites. Okay, so I
Yeah.
took that course. Initially enough, I loved that course so much. I love this idea of like, taking this thing in your mind and this idea that you have like an idea in your mind and actually putting it to good use.
Yeah.
Like that was like blown, like that blew my mind.
Yeah.
You know, like yeah. So like I love that part, and I just kept doing it. And I kept doing. It, I kept building sites with Dreamweaver. And I remember like this course that I had, this one course, you were only allowed to take this course only once, like only one semester,
Yeah.
and it's it. I'm like, but I want to take more. I want to do more. So I kept asking my teacher like, what can I do? What can I do? Can I retake this course again, again, again?
Yeah.
And guess what? Sydney?
Yeah.
I kept retaking the exact same course every single semester for
Really?
2 years. For 2 straight years. I just kept
Holy
retaking
crap.
exactly the same course. I wanted to at least be in this, right? I
Yeah.
didn't want to just stop. I literally wanted to be in this. And I just kept retaking it, kept retaking. And basically the next thing you know, basically what I ended up doing is like and I interestingly enough, I got to a point where like they didn't have any seats for me
Yeah.
because I could not register for the course. I had to register manually.
Yeah.
And so what I ended up doing is I ended up buying myself a laptop,
Yeah.
and they had like a storage, like a locker room, like a storage room
Right.
on the side, and that's actually where I will learn. So I would basically at the beginning of the class, I would go into the storage room, I
Yeah.
would bring out my laptop, and I would actually work and study from that laptop in the storage room.
Really? Dude, we need to make a film about you. That's crazy, man. Holy crap.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and literally and like basically what I end up doing is like I end up helping the teacher. I was the two teacher's assistant, building more websites. And then final year, my senior year in high school, guys, my senior year in high school, I decided to rebuild the school's website, like the whole high school website. I decided to rebuild it for fun. Like I didn't even
Oh.
tell my teacher. I didn't even tell my teacher. I just literally came in one day. I'm like, yeah. So yeah, I built the school's website. I wanted to see how it looked like. She's like, what?
You did what?
She what? She loved it. Like she loved it. And it got to a point where it's like basically I ended up basically working with another student, and we made that site mobile friendly,
Yeah.
and together we rebuilt the whole school's website, and that site was on the school's website for 3 years straight, man.
Damn, bro. Oh, it actually went up. Holy
Yep, it
crap.
went
That's
live. Yep, it
amazing,
went live.
dude. Oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I got a coupon code, and I got a coupon for Buffalo Wings. And I know you love coupons, Sonny. So
Guys, if you're wondering why Nas said that, so before the sort of software that we're using to stream this right now, I went ahead and bought the pro version, right? And I was like, yo, Nas, have you got a coupon code for this right now? And he was just cracking up because, guys, I mean, it doesn't matter how much you make. If you can use a coupon code, use the coupon code. We should be sponsored by Honey. You know that extension?
I know, right? I know.
So funny. Oh
Oh my
god.
god.
Oh, we have some
But yeah,
wicked comments here. Like Tarek. No, but that's an amazing story, Nas. And honestly, guys, if you found that super cool, let Nas know in the comments because that is amazing, man. How like you can actually have your own like creation on your school website. That's so sick.
yeah.
That's really nice.
That was super cool, yeah. And like the biscuit got congratulated by I almost got detention, almost got suspended from school, but that suspension turned into getting a chicken, like the coupon code. It was weird. It was like, and then the principal liked me. It just like it was weird, man. But It was
That's
good. It was
crazy,
good.
dude. That's crazy. And oh, Tarek said a very nice thing. Naz and Sonny in the same time. Oh, that's wicked. Thank you very much. Frank the Bunny says, "You can't fool me. That's not Kasi." Yeah,
Maybe
we
we are Kazi. Maybe we
yeah.
are Kazi. Maybe
Maybe
we
I
just
am
put
Kasi, guys. Maybe I
maybe
just
maybe there's a face mask, you know?
yeah. I mean, who knows, right? Keep
Yeah,
the
yeah,
code
yeah.
everywhere. Let's have a look. Any more comments? Right.
Oh man, this is good, guys. Love the comments. Love your I love the fire. They gave you so much fire. I love the fire.
Yeah, I love seeing that. Honestly.
I didn't know Pascal was your first language. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, son.
honestly, I know, man. like I remember writing that. I was like, even like, I can't remember. I think like you thought like a semicolon was strict. If you code in Pascal, like that is unforgiving. And I've coded in C++ and like yeah, I mean, oh, to be
Yeah.
fair, C++ is that's an interesting language. If any of you guys have coded in C++, let me know in the comments because that's a tricky language to get your head around. Yeah.
Yeah, no, no, no.
No, that's one of those ones
Uh,
that you use it to get like I made this little embed little those circuit boards. I coded
yeah, yeah.
pure C++ on it, right? And it had like a motion sensor attached to it.
Really?
And then when you walk in the room, it just triggers a motion sensor, and then through that little circuit board, it's connected to the internet, and it pings off a
Uh-huh.
little message to like something called
Uh,
it's called an MQTT server, right? And then
uh-huh.
you just have I had a little Raspberry Pi running Python, which was just listening. And then if it started listening, it turned on the webcam and it started recording the room.
Really? So it's like basically like a live camera,
Yeah, yeah. And I had
like
the
a
whole
security camera.
yeah, I had the whole thing.
Wow.
I won't do it now because it's on YouTube, but it's on a private
Uh-huh.
YouTube link, so I'll send that to you afterwards. It's crazy. Yeah,
Really, dude. I want to see that. I want to see that, man.
yeah. It was a university assignment, so I look a bit different, but it's a funny thing. Nice.
Actually, what if you can show it to everybody? Maybe drop that link for everybody to see.
Yeah, yeah. I can drop that thing.
Uh,
Oh, not. I will.
Guys, give Sunny some fire if you want to see if you want to see a video from like a few years ago.
To be fair, I look very similar to how I am now. A little bit slimmer in
Oh,
the face.
oh,
Okay.
man. So that's actually a really good question. What should I be? What should I? What should be my approach to become a full stack developer and a good competitive programmer? I like that. That's a good question.
Yeah. So, what should be my approach to become full stack developer and a good competitive programmer? Naz, you got any insight for that?
Yeah, I got an answer. You wanna start this out? Start this out.
Yeah, so okay, so for me, a full stack developer. So initially, when I went into my first role, I wasn't prepared, to be honest, for a full stack role. I was more prepared for like
Mhm.
I had done a bunch of back end development, so I was actually really weak on the front end. So my background
Mhm.
was Java, so I naturally did a lot of stuff in Java. But then they required full stack. They required like you know Java and you knew JavaScript and things like that. And guys, if you
Mhm.
get confused, front end is what you're seeing on the website. Back end is what you typically have on the sort of server stuff. And what I would recommend is just keep that mindset open at all times. But what's really nice now, guys, is that if you learn something like JavaScript, right, you can use it for the
Mhm.
front end and for the back end, which is really cool,
Mhm.
right? So like
Mhm.
that full stack problem that we used to face is to like, oh, I can use like web dev, I can do like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for the front end, but my Java is super weak. That problem's kind of got a little bit lifted now because you can code in JavaScript. You have Node.js now for the backend, so you can actually
Right.
transfer that knowledge. And then while you're building your front end and you're sort of building your JavaScript skill set, that can be transferred to the back end, and then you vice versa. Like so, you can sort of alleviate that now. So what I would say is my approach here would be pick and stick with one language, like we said earlier. So in this case, I would pick JavaScript and
Mhm.
just really harness your skill set on that because you can actually become a really good full stack developer just with JavaScript.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True that.
How about you,
True
Nas?
that. Yeah, I would say like the the roadmap to kind of like becoming a full stack developer is that obviously, guys, right? In the full stack developer, what do you have? You have the front end, right, which is what you see on the website. That's the front end, guys. And then you have the back end. That is where the server logic That's where all the server logic is. So if you think of Facebook, okay, if you think of Facebook, Facebook what has the front end application. That's what you see. The backend logic, it is where all your information is stored. It is basically, how you get the information. That's how basically your front end shows all the data. It shows the news feed, it shows your pictures, right? It is because all of that and all the logic is actually saved on the server on the backend side and the backend API. And if you want to learn basically both the front end and the back end, which I highly recommend because both of us are full stack developers, and
Yep.
it's actually very valuable knowledge to have, and actually has gotten me, a lot of great opportunities. Is like if let's say if you're doing JavaScript, okay, like if you're doing JavaScript, okay, and you're learning how to do front end, and you're learning, for example, React, now try you do Node.js, which by the way, actually is something we teach in Profit with JavaScript.
Yeah.
We teach you guys how to become a full stack developer. We teach you guys how to build APIs using Node.js. Okay, so first you want to learn, for example, React the front end, and then you want to couple that with a backend, which is, for example, like Node.js, and build APIs with that. So those are two parts. If you want to go the route now, another route you can go is I can build React.js, but I can also go the Django route and actually build my backend with Django. Okay, with Django as a backend API. Now, I would highly recommend for you, just to make it simpler, do Node.js, okay? Build your backend with Node.js if you started out with JavaScript. If you start out with JavaScript, I'd highly recommend try out Node.js. Like literally, guys, so many companies use that you have no idea. Honestly, one good example is Netflix. I don't know if you know, but Netflix actually use Node.js for the whole backend API system.
Oh, nice.
All of their logic is built in Node.js, which is really cool.
Awesome.
So exactly. So hold on. So I literally I was looking for that and I found it out. I'm like, holy shit, that's cool.
Nice.
But yeah, but like if you're doing JavaScript, learn JavaScript, learn front end, and then build the back end. And then once you got those two parts, my friend, you are sailing.
Exactly.
You are sailing. And that's pretty much it. Like, there's not much more to it. Is there's not much to it. You have to know both parts, and that's it.
Yeah.
And the more projects you now do with those both parts, the more experience you get with that. Like in Profit the JavaScript, for example, we teach you how to build a blog with a front end and a back end using Node.js. We teach you how to Google Maps store locator with a front end and a back end. We teach you how to build a Twitter clone with a front end and a back end. We teach you how to also make a Chrome extension with a front end and a back end. So you can see a lot of the repetitiveness of front end and back end, which gets to full stack development.
Yeah.
So yeah, drop in the comments below who wants to become a full stack developer, because I know you guys are. Who wants to become a full stack developer? Also, if you want to become a full stack developer, what are you still doing here? Join Profit with JavaScript. You don't want to miss out on that. Trust me.
Exactly. And for those of you guys who are a bit confused as to like how do you join, you just go ahead and tap that button right there after clicking the link in the description, and it will take you to the next step to join the course. And also, guys, just worth mentioning, we do have a 30-day money back guarantee. So there's actually
Yep.
nothing to lose here, guys. Like, just join it, give it a month, and on the 29th day, you can cancel it if you're not happy with it. You can completely just go ahead, get your money back, and it's as simple as that. Like literally you can do that and you have lost nothing, and if anything you've got 29 days worth of free training right there. So I would like at this point, I mean, like if you haven't already checked that out, go ahead and click the link and give that a try.
Yeah.
And I guarantee once you're in
Yeah.
there, you'll see just how much value is actually given, and it's just
Yeah.
unreal, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. And even if, like I said, like if you don't like it, you can always just refund it. 30 days money back guarantee. While you're in there, you have the coaching call. So you can pretty much just learn from us during those 30 days. But you're gonna want to go more than 30 days. Trust me. That's not even a question. But
Exactly.
anyways, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dope. I just saw a really good question, but I've completely lost it. If it comes back,
We got some good questions. We got some good questions out
yeah.
here, man.
Oh, that's it. Right. So Nas actually just mentioned, guys, about Netflix, right, and how Netflix use Node.js for the backend. If you guys are always
Yeah.
wondering and you've got like some kind of curiosity as to like how do you build Netflix, like the front end, how do you build the back end, guys? We actually did that. We did that. I think it was like a few days
Oh
ago.
yeah.
And so if you can go ahead and right now you can go check out this link right here. So if you literally pause the video here, if you go to this link right there at the top of the screen, you can actually go ahead and see this. And this is live. And this is something we built. And guys, it's a complete, fully functional working Netflix app. So we built this, and this is built in React. So like just to go to show you sort of what you can build by harnessing and yeah, like you can do all of this. And guys, like we said, like this front end was built with React, but the back end is also like you can have the whole back end powered in Node.js. So really, really powerful stuff by just harnessing your skill set on Java. Netflix. He was telling us he was watching Netflix with Amberly the other day, and
Uh,
he funny story happened. So he was watching it, and he had the Netflix clone open on the right, and the actual Netflix opened on the left, and he kept clicking it, wondering why it wasn't opening the film. And he was like, "Oh my god, I'm on the Netflix clone." So funny little story. So when you get those kind of problems, you know you built a decent
yeah,
website.
that's good. That is good stuff, man. Oh my gosh, that is good stuff.
Awesome. Um,
Um,
right. So best platform for mobile apps, guys. It's a really good question here. We can actually mention something here called React Native. So if you do learn React,
mm,
guys, you can actually transfer all of that skill, all of those skills over to something called React Native, which is whereby you pretty much code the same code base. So you have React, but it basically compiles. So your code, one code base gets like translated into two different code sets. So you've got like iOS and an Android app from one code base,
mhm,
which is really nice. And I've coded in that before. And actually, interesting story. So my first job that I went to, I knew React. I barely knew React. I kind of just got in there, and they sort of learned on the fly. But I had no exposure to React Native. But because I knew React, you can pretty much pick up React Native really quickly. So yeah, so that if that was an answer to your question, it's a really really nice way of doing it. Yep. Let's
cool.
go ahead and check.
See, is it necessary? Somebody asked, is it necessary? Is it necessary to learn JavaScript for web programming, or learning Django is enough?
What is that question?
Let's see. Avinash. Avinash asked the question. Do you see
Um,
it?
can't see that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. There we go.
You got it? Okay.
Yep.
So is it necessary to learn JavaScript for web programming, or learning Django is enough? What would you say to that, Sunny?
So personally, I don't actually know Django. So I have not coded in Django before. I've done Python work, so I've done a lot of Python coding, but not actually touched on Django. So not at all. As in, like my answer to this would be, if you want to go into web development, I would really recommend that yes, you would probably need to know JavaScript because it's the main language around the web development space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like the whole sort of market share is going towards like sort of React right now is the most wanted library right now, guys, and it's powered by JavaScript. So I would really recommend. It's not really a case of is it necessary. It's kind of the whatever the market goes towards. So if like React is popular now, and then like let's say in a year's time or in 2 years' time something else becomes popular, like it probably will be based around JavaScript because JavaScript is getting more and
Mm-hmm.
more powerful. So I would recommend an answer to this. Put it simply, yes. I would recommend that you do learn JavaScript. And if you currently know Django, then really cool. Like that's really, really like it'll actually give you a head start if anything, because you